back to the channel of Pro Enzo Vids, and this afternoon's video is going to be a video about just some free agents at the moment in the NRL, because obviously there's a lot of players that are still off contract for this year, and there's a lot of good ones as well. Like, I'm surprised many of these players are off contract right now, have still not got a contract, and that's why I've looked at all the NRL off contract 2021 players, and there's still a fair bit there. So what I did was I went through my top 5 current free NRL agents currently. So and yeah, because obviously there's heaps of them still off contract. Like, there's at least over 20 NRL off contract players still without contract for next season so far. So there's a lot of talent there, but I chose 5 of the main ones that I'm very surprised about not getting a contract as yet for another club or getting re-signed by their current club. And these are some of the best players in my opinion that I find are off contract. But before I start, I just want to give a quick shout out to Warriors NRL Fanatics, because today I saw his video about just giving some shout outs to some content creators, and I watched it and I saw he gave me one, which I really do appreciate a lot. So yeah, Warriors NRL Fanatics, I do appreciate you giving me a shout out, because obviously he took a break for a little while from his doing YouTube, but it's good to see him back doing some content again, because obviously it's something he loves, and that's good to see him just keeping up the good work on his channel. So yeah, Warriors NRL Fanatics, thanks for the mention in your video. I really do appreciate it. But let's get into the video. So I'm gonna go from number 5 to number 1. And yeah, look, from number 5 to number 1, the one player I'm very surprised about being off contract still is Tex Hoy from the Newcastle Knights. Now, Tex Hoy is a fantastic young player in my opinion. Can play fullback, 5'8". He's a very versatile player, Tex Hoy, and he's yet to be re-signed by the Knights or yet to be signed by another club. I'm very surprised about this, because I feel like whenever Kalen Ponga might be injured or someone in the halves for the Knights might be injured, Tex Hoy can always come in and do the job. But yeah, I don't know why Knights have not taken any consideration of re-signing him yet. I don't know if Knights are focusing on something else at the moment, or just going to wait a couple of days till it gets announced. I'm not sure, but Tex Hoy is a fantastic young player, and I feel like if Knights are not going to re-sign him, then surely there's a couple of clubs out there that would take him from the Knights for sure, because from what I've seen, Tex Hoy is a great player with heaps of potential, and he's like I said before, he shows a lot of versatility because he can play fullback, 5'8", and maybe another position as well. But yeah, does shock me he hasn't got a club yet or hasn't been re-signed by the Knights. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with his contract. But yeah, that's one player I'm very surprised about not being re-signed by the Knights so far. Moving on to the next one is the Cronulla Sharks forward, Billy McGuire. Now, this one I'm very surprised about. I'm very shocked about it, because I'm sure majority of us, majority of you people watching the video right now would understand how good Billy McGuire is. Very talented young forward. For a big man, he's got a lot of skills. Like, he's a bit like Sam Cassiano 2.0, sort of, in my opinion, Billy McGuire. I know that, obviously Cassiano has probably had the better career than Billy McGuire so far, but in terms of skill for a big man, but McGuire is a lot like Cassiano in that sort of way. And I don't know, like we've seen before, like a couple of years ago in the 2019 reserve grade grand final, he basically set up the match when he tried to beat the Burleigh Bears in that 2019 reserve grade grand final from I think a 4th tackle kick or something. And yeah, he's just showed some incredible skills before, Billy McGuire, and he's a great young player for the Sharks. And unfortunately, he hasn't got enough game time at the Sharks. And if I was the one selecting the Sharks team every week, I'd have Billy McGuire on the bench or something, because McGuire is a big part of the Sharks' future, I reckon. But if he's not going to get any more game time, or not get as much game continue to not get as much game time as he got this year, because obviously he didn't really get much games, unfortunately, which I think is a bit wrong, because he's a great player and I think he deserves a lot of opportunities in first grade. But if the Sharks can't give that to him, then I think another club will certainly pick him up somewhere. And yeah, I'm sure he's going to get a lot of interest if the Sharks are to get rid of him. But yeah, I'm surprised he's got no contract yet whatsoever. Number 3 is a very interesting one, actually. Now, I know he's sort of just backup. I know he's a backup player, but for the majority of the year, with the amount of injuries this team has suffered this year, he's done an incredible good job on the wing, and he's done a great job this year. Very safe player, and that is Matty Gavalu. Matty Gavalu is still off contract for 2021. And I'm surprised the Roosters haven't even re-signed him yet, because I know Roosters might have Sawali, Manu, Supo and all these other players for instead of him in the back line, but Matty Cavallo offers a lot of good depth in the outside back, so I think he does a great job whenever he plays. We're seeing this year, he's a solid try scorer. He definitely knows his ways towards the try line. He's a player who gives a lot. He definitely does give it a real go from what I've seen. And he's a solid, steady player overall, and he's not that old either. So I'm surprised the Roosters haven't re-signed him yet, because he's a perfect depth sort of player for that club. But I think if he's not re-signed anytime soon, I expect at least one club to sign him soon. So a bit surprised Matty Cavallo's off contract, but we'll see if he gets a new contract with the Roosters or not. Number 2, I've gone with Anari Tawala as the other person I'm very surprised about not getting a contract yet. Now, Anari Tawala's had a great season for the Knights. Like, at first, when he was at the Cowboys, I thought Anari... sorry for the small cut there, but as I was saying, Anari Tawala, when I thought he was at the Cowboys, I thought he was an okay young player. I didn't think he was anything amazing. Like, I didn't really rate him at the time. But ever since he made the move to the Knights this year, he's definitely really taken his game to another level. Like, he's definitely improved heaps as a player. Seems to score tries, seems to set up his outside man pretty well when he's in the centres, and he's just really improved as a player overall. I think he definitely is one of the most improved players of 2021, that's for sure, because I don't think anyone really expected him to do much at the Knights, but you know what, he has, and he really has provided a lot for that team this year. So I definitely think he's a big surprise being off contract still, because he's been one of the best Knights players this year, and he still has no contract, which is crazy. So if he gets a new contract for the Knights, I don't know. But if he doesn't, then surely there's a couple of clubs that are lined up to get his signature. Like, surely there's a couple of clubs that... And last but not least, the biggest name out there that's still be unsigned is Dylan Walker from my team, the Sea Eagles. I believe Dylan Walker is the biggest name out there to still be unsigned. I can't believe Manly have not offered him a new contract. Oh, no, hang on, they have. Manly have offered him a 2-year contract, but he's yet to sign it. I don't know if his manager is trying to chip more money in. That's why there's a delay in Dylan Walker re-signing the club. I'm not sure, but it's getting pretty worrying now, because it's Manly won't wait forever for Dylan Walker to be re-signed and that. So a decision with Dylan Walker and Manly has to be made soon, or else he might be on the out, unfortunately. But I hope Dylan Walker stays. I like Dylan Walker as a player. Very good player. He's been great this year. I prefer him to play in the centres, because I think Dylan Walker is a top centre when he's on. Like, when he plays centre, I think he's a fantastic centre. But right now in that Jersey 14 role, he's killing it as that loose forward in the middle. I think he's doing a great job. And unfortunately, he's still hasn't been re-signed yet. Hopefully, Manly have common sense to, I guess, re-sign him. But I don't know. Maybe it's not Manly's fault. Maybe it's just Dylan Walker and his manager that really need to make the decision soon, because the decision making will be the real thing for Dylan Walker, if he's going to re-sign with Manly or not. But I hope he does, because he's one of my favourite players at the club. I've always rated him personally. But if he's not re-signed, then that's a real shame in my opinion. But he's the biggest name out there to still be off contract. So we'll see what happens in the next coming weeks, because the next coming weeks with Dylan Walker's contract will be very interesting. But guys, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, make sure you do like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another video.